My beautiful, beautiful Scorpios. Hello, my loves. I meditating on your sign. Um, why do I hear like a power struggle? You can't tell me what to do. You can't slow me down. You can't try to control me. I don't owe you an explanation. Scorpio, who are you talking to? What happened? Um, you can't control me. You can't stop it. You can't stop me from living my life the way that I choose to live my life. Do you have an ex? I don't know if they're an ex. Scorpio, who's trying to control you? And then I see you in isolation. So I don't know if you had an argument with somebody, if you had an argument with a loved one. You will know who this loved one is. You had an argument with a loved one, and then you went into isolation. And this isolation is all about, I hear you made me this way. I'm this way because of you. You're in isolation, and your isolation is about finding yourself. You're trying to find yourself. You're trying to gain control over your life again. Um and you will know who is trying to control you, because I hear like, well, I'm the breadwinner, you know? So this is like, if you are in a relationship, you can be going through a separation phase where you guys are on hard times, and it's because one person is trying to control the other person. The other person doesn't want to be controlled. And for you, Scorpio, you're back to, for some of you, like back to square one. You just want time to yourself right now. You want time to figure your own self out. So if you're in a relationship, you guys are together, but things is not going good right now. I hear it again. You can't tell me what to do. And even if it's not a relationship, suppose you're a Scorpio and you have a parent who's trying to control you, a parent who's trying to tell you how to live your life and what to do from what not to do. It could be like that, a controlling parent who, you're grown now, but your parent still wants to control you, finding things to argue with you about, trying to tell you how to live your life, trying to control you even though you're grown. It could be like that, trying to tell you how to raise your kids. And you just need to be alone so you can find yourself, you know? You don't need your parent in your business. You don't need your parent trying to control you. You don't need your parent telling you what to do because you've grown now, you know? it's, it's one or the other, Scorpio. Lord. Oh, yeah, I knew it. It's like love. This shows love. And honestly, if it's not a love relationship, it could be a parent. Because don't we love our parents too? Even if they get on our nerves, don't we still love them at the core of it? You know what I'm saying? So this is like you trying to find the courage to live your life, trying to find the courage to not be controlled. Put it this way too, y'all, right? If you are single, this is you trying to find the courage to find yourself and start all over again after being in a controlling relationship that wasn't going anywhere, after being in a controlling situation that you lost your voice or you lost yourself. So if you're single, you're trying to find the courage to come into one with your own self. You're trying to find the courage to start all over again and live, like the courage to live. You know, live to your truth, live to what you want, trying to find the courage to love again. You know what I'm saying? And once again, if you're not single, then it's like you're trying to find your own independence, even though you're in a connection, because you're in a connection with somebody who's trying to slow you down, trying to control you, trying to tell you what to wear, how to live, and you ain't with it. So this is what's going on with you, Scorpios, for this month. Trying, in the end, relationship or not, you're trying to find your independence. You're trying to find the courage to go after the things that you love. You're trying to find yourself. You're trying to be in tune with your own self. Um, for you singles, I hear deal breakers. You're trying to understand love. You're trying to understand how things went so wrong. How did you find yourself in this dynamic where somebody could have took you away from your own self? You're trying to write down like deal breakers, like what didn't I see? You're trying to have the courage to exit a tough cycle, a tough karmic cycle that didn't suit your highest good, that didn't give you what you wanted out of it. That didn't give you the love that you poured in, the love that I poured into this shit. I ain't get out. And you're trying to find the courage to just step out on faith, trying to put yourself back out there, trying to put yourself first, trying to love yourself and find somebody who can love you the way that you love. This is what you're trying to find the courage to do. Some of you, it's like heart over head decision that you need to make. Are you going to stay in a connection that's not fulfilling you and that's not giving you the love? Or are you going to be independent and go on your own, Let me see what's the outside. Let me find out what's your outside. I hear Lord make it make sense, or Lord make it stop. Make it make sense, or Lord make it stop. It's like, why am I going through this? Why am I being put through the ringer? What is this trying to show me? What is this trying to tell me? It's like you're going nuts. Why do I find myself in situations like this? What am I supposed to learn out of this? How can I move on from this? How can I get back to me? How can I get back to the love? Scattered brain. You're going to be scattered in your mind, trying to find a way to escape like pain. Why do I have this pain inside of me? Why do I carry this pain inside me? Why can't I go after the things that I want? Why am I always so afraid? This is you having a conversation with yourself and with spirit. The ghosts of the past can be controlling some of you. Some of you even needing to learn how to put yourself first when it comes to a connection, Why do I allow connections to overpower me? Why do I allow connections to take my power? Why am I the one at the end, desperate, alone, and empty? How can I stop this heartache? And somebody could have been trying to control you. Somebody could have been using like using manipulations to keep you in a connection that you weren't getting what you wanted out of it. They could have been using manipulation to try to make it seem like there's something wrong with you, and using this to keep you in there, using this to keep you small, using this so that you won't figure them out. So it's like they could have had their own hidden agenda all along and keeping you in this connection because it served them and not you. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear, like, I thought we were perfect for each other. I thought we were going to be a dynamic duo, Like, why isn't this not working out the way I expected it to? Why am I struggling with love? Why am I struggling to heal my own self? You're asking yourself a lot of deep questions. It's almost like for some of you too, you are afraid of being alone. Maybe you're holding on to this connection, or maybe it's like afraid to do it alone. And this is only for some of you, like putting love above all. Like, I don't know if you could be ruled by love. And what I mean by that, I don't know what your Venus sign is, but are you ruled by love? Do you feel like you have this perception that love makes or breaks you? You know what I'm trying to say? Because that's why love can possibly control you, because you have it as, you put it as the biggest priority in your life, and you're afraid to separate because you're afraid to be alone. You feel better when you feel like you have somebody, even if they don't serve you. It just feels good to feel like you have someone, because this is because, look, there's a girl and a man in here, there's a girl and a man in here. Not to say like gender specific or anything like that, but it's almost like you allow love to control you. You allow love to make you or break you. If my relationship is good, then I'm good. I feel whole. But if my relationship is not good, then I'm not whole. So it's almost like you have an entanglement with your perception of love. And love controls you because you prioritize it as if I have someone, that's the only time that I feel good about myself. And if I don't have someone, then I feel alone. I feel empty. I feel useless almost. Like you feel like you need love to feel whole as a person. And this is why love is controlling you. Some of you buying new lingerie, some of you buying new perfume. Let me see what's going on. What's going on the outside, baby? Ain't no ifs, ands, or maybes. What is going on? Passion. And moving on. See, some of you, the curtain, I heard the curtains is about to close. Some of you guys are, and I hear being ambushed by energy. You're probably trying to move on from somebody, but you feel their energy is still attached to you. You still feel passion towards this person. It's like you have an emotional connection with them, and because the emotions, you still feel the emotional tie, and it keeps you strung along in a connection that doesn't serve you anymore. I hear wearing your heart on your sleeve. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You give your heart away. You give your heart away, and you allow love to control you because you give your heart away. You wear your heart on your sleeve. And there's nothing wrong with wearing your heart on your sleeve, but maybe you give your heart away prematurely. I hear freak in the sheets. Maybe you got caught up on this person because they were good in bed. They could have been good for your insides, but bad for you, for your soul, you know? But it's like you still feel the passion burning for this person, even though they don't do it for you. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who to trust anymore. You don't even know if you can trust your own self. Like, this could have caused you to feel a lack of trust in yourself. This is like the courage to trust yourself again, the courage to try again, the courage to release something that doesn't serve you and move on. It's like you're almost afraid. You're caught between what you could have had or what it was like versus it's not like this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see this, it's like this, the passion that I used to have, the emptiness that I feel inside, and then knowing that it's time for me to move on. And the word trust, maybe you can't trust the person that you were with anymore. You feel like you don't know how to trust them. You don't know how to trust your own judgment, your own self. Let me see. Yeah, see? This is hurting you. This is hurting you. It's like needing to make a heart over head decision when it comes to love. Like you're suffering in silence. You feel like you don't know who to turn to, where to go. You just feel empty and you don't know how to feel. Like, it could be like a hole in the soul. You feel a hole in the soul, void in the soul. Hole in the soul's a void in your soul. Emptiness has to come from like unfulfillment. You're unfulfilled. You probably have abandonment wounds, and this person was able to fulfill the abandonment wound, but they still made you feel empty inside because they didn't fulfill you. Does that make sense? So they covered the space in your heart, but you still felt emptiness inside because they weren't satisfying. Although they were there and they could have played a position in your life, they still didn't fulfill you. And the real truth is, like, you're suffering. Ooh. How can I get rid of this pain? Why am I always suffering? Why am I always in pain? Why do I always feel empty? It's like you want to run from yourself. You're running from yourself. You're escaping your own self. You're escaping your own emptiness. You're escaping the fact that you are unhappy. Maybe you don't even know what will make you happy, and that's the problem. You're thinking that with love, you prioritizing love, you're probably feeling like, well, I thought that if I had love, I would feel happy. And you're starting to realize that what you thought you needed to feel fulfilled, it actually is not fulfilling you at all. It's actually making you more lovesick and more empty. So it's like your journey continues, because what you thought would take away the emptiness and the pain is actually causing you deeper wounds. So it's like your voyage to find out, how do I get to the sun? How do I get to this happiness? I'm never happy. What your courage is, like having the courage to address your inner pain, your inner turmoil. It's not the love. You're at war with your own heart. And what happens is you attract people who mirror these wounds to you. So you're attracting wounds. Because you have an unaddressed wound, you feel unfulfilled in life. You feel unstable. You don't even know who you are. For some of you, you don't know who you are. You don't know why you're here. You don't really know what your true purpose is. And that's what it is: lacking purpose, lacking direction, not knowing what truly brings you fulfillment. You don't know how to find the fulfillment within, so you look for it out. And then when you look for it out, it still doesn't even satisfy this hole in your soul, and you still just feel empty. So this is like a person who just suffers all the time. And this is why you're asking yourself so many questions, because you realize, like, how long am I going to go on like this? If I don't address this emptiness, if I don't address this wound, I'm going to continue to attract people who are just as empty and make me feel empty too. So you're empty and you're attracting other people that are empty, and emptiness plus emptiness does not equal wholeness. And that's what you thought. You thought that if I'm empty and I find someone, then I will finally be happy. But because you're not happy, you find other people who are also not happy. Because you're not whole, you find other people who are not whole. And two emptinesses can't make a whole. And you're starting to understand that you're what you thought was love is actually not love at all. What you thought was happiness is actually not happy at all. And then you're like, well, then where do I go from here? How do I figure this out? What do I do? I feel all alone. And if you feel alone, you're meant to be alone, because this journey that you're trying to find to wholeness cannot be done with somebody else, unless they're trying to take the walk with you to discover who they are too. And you trying to hold on to people, like people, they're escapist. You meet other escapists, and they're always trying to run or leave you, and you're trying to like pull them and hold on to them, but they're running wild because they're empty, and they use outside validation to fill their hole. So they're always running because they're empty. You try to hold on to them, and they're trying to hold on to all things outside of them. It's like a bunch of emptiness going on, and nobody knowing how to fill their own soul. So you're trying to use them to fill your soul, and they're trying to use other people and other things to fill their soul. So emptiness plus emptiness equals even deeper emptiness and even more wounds. It's not the answer that you thought it was. So it's almost like sadness and scarcity. Where do I go? How do I obtain happiness? It's like you having to finally sit with yourself and cultivate happiness within your world. Nobody can give it to you. You're starting to realize that. The love that you're looking for, that you don't know how to give to yourself, you were thinking, well, if I'm in a relationship, then I can get the love that I don't feel. But the truth is, you have to give yourself the love that you are actually looking for first. unless you're just going to continue to find other empty souls that have good sex and give you temporary fulfillment through sex, but no true love, no true fulfillment, no true happiness. That was deep. That was deep. Yeah, this is like your intuition, like you learning how to trust yourself, you learning how to access your intuition, because it's like you're going to have to realize that the answers that you're looking for, the feelings that you're looking for, they're going to come from within. And if you're used to having fulfilling or using like sex or love or people to fill what you have in, you're starting to realize it's not enough. The only way that you can actually truly get this access to fulfillment is within you, like you accessing your intuition, you getting in tune with your higher self. Because you've been walking around with your lower self. Your lower self looks for lower things to fulfill it. That's like, outside validation. Your intuition, your higher self knows that the true love you're looking for comes from above. It's like if you're a woman, you're trying to make man into your God. And what I mean by that, you can feel like, oh, if I have love from a man, then he can substitute my inner pain. And it's like, no. Spirit they won't fulfill you, because man, human, is not God. Maybe it's only the higher power that can give you that fulfillment. You can't make a man your God and then get mad when he doesn't fulfill you, because humans are flawed. And people who don't even have a spiritual awakening, you're tying them to your destiny. The absolute fulfillment is going to have to come from your higher self, which is spiritual. You probably thought like, oh, once I finally have a man, I'll be happy. But it's like, no, your happiness doesn't come from another man. My world will be complete once I have a man. And Spirit is like, no, it won't. How can you get another empty soul to fill the void inside of you? How can you get another empty soul to play God for you? There's only one God. So it's like you're prioritizing love and other people when the true priority should be God, like the higher self, the highest. They can only be the ones to cover you and fill your void and actually get you to the things that you need to feel fulfilled. They're the only ones. So this search that you're actually running around and you think you're looking for love, but the truth is you're trying to find love within yourself, which comes from above. Scorpios, you have you will have a life partner, but this life partner will be on the same journey as you. Okay, I'm going on to the extended, my lovelies. I send you love and light.